What's going on, guys? Jacob Vile, a random video, but very efficient way for learning different ways that you could crimp ring terminals. This one's used, but I can still use it. I'm using 0 gauge. This can work for anything like 8 gauge, 10 gauge, all the way down to 0 4/0. So I'll go ahead and show you the ways that I've done it. I started off just the normal way. You open up your terminal, and then you have your actual wire by itself. And you're going to need a razor. I mean, obviously, there's other ways of doing this, but this is the way I always did it. And you get the depth of your actual terminal, and you eyeball where that is, have your finger there, and you can go right around that range where your finger is, and then just slightly cover. And you just circle your wire all the way around. One time usually is enough, and if it's not enough, then you just cut a little bit deeper. It depends on the thickness of your guard around your actual wire. This is cheap CCA. This is the old stuff that I use, so it has a little bit of a bigger surround protecting the wire. I call it the guard. So once I get this cut off, I twist it and it usually breaks right off. The goal here is not to get your wire too messed up, so try to keep it in a nice clean form. That way it can go into your terminal easily. So I already have this ring terminal's been used. I'm reusing it second time just to show a demonstration. Make sure I open up the terminal to fit in. Some ring terminals, depending on what you use, your wire can slide right into it, but if you have oversized wire, sometimes it won't. So the first way to do this is I would get some channel lock pliers, or any type of pliers, and you kind of gotta circle in there, catch into the pliers, and get it to where it can catch. This is the way that I started off doing. The wires, it's kind of hard to do unless you get it on the floor, but you use channel locks because it can squeeze and tighten in place. So I got it kind of in place, and then I would tighten the channel locks after I get it in stationary position. And then I can get it flat on the floor, and I squeeze, and the channel locks fit. I have different size channel locks because sometimes if you're using certain channel locks, it will only tighten so much. So all I'm doing is just making sure my adjustments are right on my channel locks, and I'm tightening in place and squeezing into the middle of the terminal, and that's causing it to not go into the middle. So that's really one of the options you can do for ring terminals. That's the way I started off doing it. That is one option. Now here's another option. Once you get into that place, all you do is get a hammer. Once it's in, make sure it's in, and literally this is what I did before, and it worked perfect. That sucker ain't going nowhere. It might look stupid, but literally just you getting a hammer and tapping it, that makes it, see how it's loose right now? It looks dumb, but look, it doesn't move now. They're very slim movement. So just the matter of me getting a hammer and tapping it on that ring terminal. Not too hard, don't get it too flat, especially if you're putting a little guard over your ring terminals or some tape. So this one's a little oversized cut, but it's fine, I can demonstrate. This is the tool that I use now. For my current build, 2017, I use this. It's a hammer crimping tool. Pretty much it crimps into an angle, like a 45 degree. I got it from Amazon, I think it was like $18. But I would definitely recommend one of these if you do not want to spend like the big bucks for like an $80 or $90 tool. I know they have also some crimper tools that work too, that you can use, that are made for it. So that's all it is right there. As it crimps in place, you get it in there. So that crimps it. I get it in position, and I have my hand away from it when I hit it. And there you go. See how it went down into it. Fit perfect. And that's really it, and that keeps it stiff, and it dropped right into it, just like that. And if you hit it even harder, it can go in even more, but it only goes in so much. See, it ain't going nowhere. So I definitely recommend getting something like this. It's like a spring-loaded one, but my spring broke because I've used it so much. That's why the pin came off. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. There's definitely ways of doing ring terminals. I mean, all you're gonna need is some pliers, a hammer. I use needle nose pliers, and if I want to open up my ring terminal. And a razor, some channel locks. But that's it. And that's how I've done all my ring terminals, and I've never worried about the disconnect. They usually stay connected well. You want to have a nice safe ground in order for it to properly connect, so you don't have it loosening. Another option I can mention for the end of this video is soldering. If you want, you can have an option of soldering, so get like a soldering wire